Welcome back to episode 135 of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, I-Man.
What's up? What's up?
All right, and on the sticks, we got TJ.
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
We're all here, dude. We're all here, and we're all gathered here in front of the great presence of artificial intelligence, right?
Yes, we're going to have an interesting podcast. We have 10 burning questions on the Metaverse.
For now.
Sustainability.
Let's keep it niche. Let's keep it like in our field, our lane.
Yeah.
I guess just because we could go all day with this AI stuff.
Yeah,
and I have.
So we're gonna ask the AI some questions about the Metaverse.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get pretty deep into it. And
I guess before we get started, like maybe a little rundown or breakdown. How the fuck did we get here, dude? you know, like I've always heard, AI this, AI that. It's a potential threat. It's going to save all of humanity.
Yeah.
Like, but I'd never actually witnessed or seen anything of that I could get my hands on.
Yeah,
until
for at least
like recently.
At least a decade, people have been talking about AI.
Yeah.
And just recently, within the last couple of years, we've finally gotten access to like publicly available AI tools that can generate some images, music, text, blog posts. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Like,
even rendered code, right?
Rendered code.
Yeah, I've been seeing all over Twitter. These people they're like 80% of the stuff they're coding now is just AI assistant generated.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That must be like a huge time saver.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, just sounds useful.
Yeah.
I myself have been using it as like a writing assistant tool.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the hardest part about I guess the writing process is
the process.
inertia.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there like, fuck, dude. It's like, how do I start this bitch?
Yeah.
You could spend like hours just like stuck in that trench.
Yeah.
Before you actually get like, an outline or structure to what it is you want to put out. But with these tools, you literally can just like outsource that whole thought process now to these AIs.
Yeah. You just come up with a couple of concepts that you want to write about and
like a summary of
few
sentences, a couple lines, a few bullet points, and before you know it, dude, you got like a full, the meat's all there. It might not be like, the juiciest meat.
Yeah.
Sometimes they put out like some straight duds.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it provides a foundation, right? And I'm pretty sure this is happening across all kinds of different like sectors and, specialties, skill sets. So it's fucking wild, dude. Yeah,
so we're definitely going to figure out ways to implement AI into our MetaZone project.
True.
And
we're talking about that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, we're using AI right now to generate transcripts for all our podcasts.
True. So, yeah, if you want to, I don't know, clue some friends into, they're not so interested in sitting through an hour-long podcast, I guess, you can navigate them to our blog section on theblockrunner.com, right?
Yeah.
It's AI generated.
Yeah, that's right.
We were kind of like back and forth amongst ourselves. Should we like tell people this? Like, is it like, is it frowned upon yet? Like, does it feel disingenuous a little bit? Like using AI to
cheating.
It's definitely cheating. Like it feels like cheating to me.
I don't know.
Because I would not be able to do daily
I
blog.
disagree. No? I don't think it's cheating. I think it's just leveraging tools.
Well, it's not. Okay. It's not cheating in the same sense. Using a calculator isn't cheating, right?
It's not cheating.
It's just like
you know how to use a calculator, therefore it's a tool.
You're better at math, or you're better at engineering, or whatever it is.
Executing whatever you're doing math for.
Agreed. That's how I view it. But what I'm talking about from a sentiment perspective, like if we knew CoinDesk, like 95% of their articles were AI generated, would CoinDesk have like any kind of position of, I don't know, journalistic authority over their competitors?
I don't think it would make a difference to me if I realized that CoinDesk was just mostly AI generated. As long as the information was there, and I got what I needed, that's the most important part.
Interesting. I guess it depends, because based on my experience, there's certain topics that I feel definitely need a little bit more than what AI can provide today, especially like the more like recent development type topics, because a lot of these tools, they source older information.
That's where the improvement can happen with AI, is like real-time access to new information.
Yeah, exactly.
Which it will come.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's good. It's in a decent state. It's usable. Everybody's impressed. And
Yeah.
it's addicting. Like, you just want to keep asking it questions, right? You know,
Yeah.
because it never gets tired of you,
Yeah.
right? It's not like a human where, like, dude, stop
Yeah.
breathing down my neck with all these freaking questions, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like you that much. You know, the AI loves you forever, eternally.
Yeah, and this could be the future of researching stuff, right? You don't go to Google anymore. You ask Google AI to come up with answers to your questions.
Yeah, as long as you structure, which we're gonna kind of pretty much demonstrate today, like how I guess we think is a good way to structure questions, you know, because it can provide like a variable output of responses depending on how you ask these questions, right? So, you know, like you're saying, let's start asking some questions, dude.
All right, let's do it. So we have the first 10 questions, 10 burning questions. So I'm going to...
Yeah, some of these are like very general metaverse type questions. Not general. I mean, all of them are pretty like I'd say advanced to intermediary level type questions. You know, because I mean, we spend a lot of our time thinking about the metaverse, right?
Yeah.
And we've analyzed and observed a lot of outside opinions about what it is and their doubts, their fears, and all that stuff. So we try to incorporate as much as we could into these 10 questions to try and, you know, leverage AI to settle some of those doubts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's see what we got.
All right. First question. For a virtual world where people own all digital content, including their land parcels, how do you build a sustainable and distributed game economy in the metaverse?
Okay, so this is an example of not a general question, right? This is very specific to us.
This is very specific to us.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting output here from the AI. Finally. All right. So here's the response, and we can talk about it. Building a sustainable, distributed game economy in the metaverse is a complex task that requires a lot of planning and careful execution. Here are a few key things to consider. Number one, clearly define the rules and regulations of the game economy, including how digital assets will be created, bought, sold, and traded. This will help to ensure that the economy functions smoothly and fairly for all participants. Number two, create a system for distributing new digital assets, such as land parcels, in a way that is fair and balanced. This could involve using a lottery or auction system or implementing a system that rewards players for the contributions to the game. Number three, establish a set of economic incentives that encourage players to engage with the game economy and participate in economic activities. For example, you could offer rewards or bonuses for players who trade frequently or who help to grow the game economy by bringing new players into the game. Number four, monitor the game economy closely and make adjustments as needed to ensure that it remains healthy and sustainable. This could involve setting limits on the total number of digital assets that can be created, implementing policies to prevent inflation, or taking other measures to maintain the overall health of the game economy.
Okay.
So overall, the key to building a sustainable and distributed game economy in the metaverse is to create a system that is transparent, fair, and balanced, and to continually monitor and adjust it to ensure that it remains healthy and dynamic.
All right, dude, that is quite the thorough and well thought out response.
Yes, it is. So this AI sources a lot of this data, training data, from all the internet, including Reddit, blog posts, all kinds of stuff, news articles.
Yeah, because what's interesting about this question is it's kind of almost like a trick question in a way, because distributed game economy is a novel concept, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it didn't exactly align with what it is you were asking it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to our knowledge, we're the ones building an actual distributed game ecosystem for the metaverse, right? Where you can actually fragment the functions and the components of a game and distribute them across, different owners and hosts. So it doesn't factor that into its response because it's not well known.
Yeah, it doesn't
right?
know. The AI will not innovate on anything.
No.
Only humans can innovate.
Potentially. I mean, I've seen some responses that seem like it's almost like an attempt at, giving you a viable strategy towards innovation.
But the very fact that it gave you that response means it's not innovative because it sourced that data.
Of course, I know. But I feel like in almost in a way, the way it aggregates all that data and information and then it outputs it, it almost leads to like original thought. I feel like I don't know if it's obviously not original, right? Because it's taking already said statements
right
from the universe. But to me, this feels original. Just, I don't know, in the way it's compacted, I guess. So what do you think?
It just verifies everything that we've thought about, having a sustainable ecosystem outside of the innovative aspects of it. The fact that we have a game that has been split into multiple components and then distributed to a bunch of owners, and then the community is hosting the entire game.
Yeah.
That's the innovative part that it's never going to understand until a few years down the line, where everybody's talking about a distributed game economy.
Yeah, that key word sustainable is probably the most important one in this question because, you know, if we're talking about Web3 games, we haven't really identified the right pathway to sustainability yet.
Yeah.
Right. So this is why it's such an important question, right? You know, what does AI think is the best way to get to that? I think it's pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way we can rely on, you know, this is going to be definitively like the solution, you know, but nonetheless, it's a pretty good shot, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it talks about setting limits on the total number of digital assets that can be created, implementing policies to prevent inflation.
So right away, that reminds me of Axie Infinity.
Yeah.
You know, there were no limits imposed as far as how many digital assets could be created from the player economy, and therefore it resulted in rampant inflation in the supply of these digital assets. And a lot of people foresaw that coming.
Yeah.
And most people kind of like ignored these calls, these heeds of warning, but it happened.
Yeah, I think maybe every game in the metaverse should implement the game theory that Satoshi implemented with Bitcoin in terms of difficulty.
I see. Like over time, as more adoption occurs, the more difficult.
It's like
the slower the output. Yeah.
To generate more axes, it becomes more expensive to generate more axes.
Yeah.
And so, but then if it's more expensive to generate more axes, there should be incentive to burn axes, right? And so the value that you gain by burning axes goes up. Like you get more SLP, for example, and then that's balanced out with, okay, now that I have more SLP, I can generate more axes. And so it's balancing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that we should consider implementing in our game as well.
Everybody has to. Like that's the economic ins and outs is something that has to be continually monitored. And you as a designer have to almost be preemptive in your strategy and make sure you have enough of these, you know, levers at your disposal to adjust. And anytime there's some sort of imbalance in the economy, right?
Yeah.
You got to have some kind of, you know, control. Of course, we want to build and eventually get to a reality where everything is decentralized and, you know, DAO governance is actually as impactful as everybody envisions it to be. But in the beginning stages, whenever there's not enough, you know, maturity, I guess, in the ecosystem, a lot of manual input has to be involved.
Yeah.
Right. So there's nothing wrong with that. You know, don't scoff at it. It's like, that doesn't mean like, you know, the ecosystem's in danger or anything like that. It's just, it's necessary, right, to make sure the economy could thrive. So. So that was good. That was a good first one. That was definitely like super deep in the weeds. Like that's specifically, obviously, we're if that was the first question we thought to ask, we're definitely in the weeds of designing a game ecosystem in the metaverse, right?
Yeah,
obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So next question: what are going to be the prominent ways to monetize your time spent in the metaverse?
Okay, so this is probably the most important question, like generally, for anybody looking to get involved in the metaverse. Because, in my opinion, that's the
it's quite the response.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the thing that attracts people at the end of the day? You think about crypto, DeFi, like
it's the value proposition that the metaverse brings to people.
Yeah, it's not the fact that, you know, at least we're saying, it's not the fact that you can go in there and like party and dance and stuff with your friends. I mean, that's cool and all, but is that really what's going to attract everybody to the metaverse and have you stay there?
Things like a VR chat, that's the value proposition. You can come in, chat, party. We saw that documentary, right? There's a good value proposition there, but that's not enough to sustain $1 trillion metaverse.
Yeah, I mean there's components of it. Like there are people there who are earning actual income. Like there was teachers, I think that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how they were being compensated, probably by, tips and stuff like that. There were actual virtual dancers, companion type people, and they get tipped and stuff. So there's a little bit of an exchange of value in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what does the AI say?
All right. So monetizing in the metaverse. There are several potential ways to monetize your time spent, including selling virtual goods and services. Many people who spend time in the metaverse are willing to pay for virtual items such as clothing, accessories for their avatar, or services such as custom designed virtual spaces. You could offer these types of goods and services for sale and earn money in exchange.
Very true. We've seen all that already.
That's why we have a marketplace.
Yeah.
Participating in the game economy. Some metaverse platforms have built-in game economies where players can earn virtual currency by participating in various activities such as completing quests or trading with other players.
Dang.
You can earn money by participating in these activities and then exchanging the virtual currency for real money.
So we've also seen this occur, and we're actually enabling this in our games, and we're seeing other developers do the same thing. So
yeah,
spot on, dude.
Yeah.
Spot on so far.
Look at this, advertising and sponsorship.
Now, this is something that's obviously going to be huge, but not necessarily huge yet.
Not until there's millions of people. Yeah. If you have a popular presence in the metaverse, you can earn money by partnering with companies who want to advertise their products or services to your audience. For example, you could allow companies to place virtual billboards or other advertising materials in your virtual space, or you could become a sponsored influencer who promotes the products of a particular brand.
Damn, son. So far, all this stuff is on MetaZone so far.
Yeah.
Which is great. This is what realization it's like we're on to something, right? As long as AI agrees.
Number 4, hosting events and experiences. The metaverse offers a unique platform for hosting a wide range of virtual events and experiences such as concerts, conferences, and games. You could earn money by hosting these types of events and charging admission or offering other forms of payment.
Very true. That keyword is hosting. So that's what, Metas and MetaZone enables is not everybody has the technical abilities to create these types of experiences on their own merits, right? Unless AI just becomes that powerful where you can literally speak into your microphone and it can just decipher code and output like all these functions and stuff.
Coming soon.
It's possible.
It's coming soon.
We could get there, but for now, the best way to do it is to actually leverage existing developers to build this type of content, right? And then you can host it yourself and monetize it this way. So that's good, dude. That's 4 checks in a row, I think.
Yeah. All right. Next question is, what activity will play the biggest role for the metaverse economy to expand?
I bet you it's going to be very similar to,
Okay.
Very similar to the last question.
So there are several activities that could play a significant role in driving the expansion of the metaverse economy, including the following: investments in virtual assets. As more people become involved in the metaverse, there will likely be increasing interest in investing in virtual assets such as virtual land, buildings, and other property. This could drive up the value of these assets and create a more robust and dynamic market for them. Number 2, development of new virtual experiences. The growth of the metaverse economy will also be driven by the development of new and exciting virtual experiences that draw more people into the metaverse. This could include the creation of new games, social platforms, and other types of interactive experiences that are engaging and immersive.
Yeah, this is what I expect. This is like what the majority of the metaverse is right now. That initiative is just creating more virtual experiences. Mm-hmm. Like the other side is really focused on that.
Yeah.
Big concerts, big whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big driver of interest because I guess you can't do that anywhere else on the internet. So why not?
Yeah. They have the technology to facilitate it too.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, adoption of new technologies. The expansion of the metaverse economy will also be fueled by the adoption of new technologies that make it easier for people to access and participate in the metaverse. This could include the development of new hardware, such as virtual reality headsets, and the creation of new software tools that make it easier for people to build and interact with virtual spaces. Number 4, increased collaboration and partnership. Finally, the growth of the metaverse economy will be driven by increased collaboration and partnership between different players in the ecosystem, including developers, investors, and users. By working together, these parties can help to drive innovation and growth in the metaverse. which will create new opportunities for economic expansion. I don't know if the AI has a concept of a digital land owner. As a matter of fact, why don't we just ask that? So, what is a digital land owner?
I'm pretty sure it does because it sources information from pre-2021, and projects like Decentraland were announced or discussing these concepts. Yeah, in 2017. So,
a digital landowner is a person or entity that owns a piece of virtual land in the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
This land is typically represented as a digital asset that can be bought, sold, or traded just like any other type of virtual property. Digital land ownership typically confers certain rights and responsibilities, such as the right to build and modify structures on that land, and the responsibility to maintain land and comply with other applicable rules and regulations. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they explained it without injecting NFTs, so they're already like
they're
trained
like Reddit.
Trained on marketing etiquette.
Yeah, right.
The AI knows, dude. If you put NFT in there,
you're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, that's solid AI, dude.
Yeah. All right. Here's the next question.
So was that satisfying? So you think it does know?
It does know.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because it seemed like in the last question, it wasn't really. It refers to landowners as users. I feel like users are people who are in the metaverse who don't necessarily own like the important assets of the metaverse, like land, for example. Or
remember, there's competing models now. There's that scarcity land model like Decentraland, then there's the infinite land model like Spatial.
Yeah,
so
but
any user can be a landowner, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But you're right. It's important to distinguish the two categories of users, right? Yeah, there's users, and then I guess land owners. So it's like different activities that are
different
expected.
Incentive models as a result.
Yeah. True. If you want to focus your time in the metaverse as a landowner, that implies you're a provider of an experience or a service to attract users.
Yeah.
Right? And if you just want to be a user, you don't want to put in all that work.
Yeah.
You just want to spend your resources to have fun.
Yeah. Experiences
or to extract even more value for yourself through your time and endeavor. So you're right. But that's like a pretty deep in the weeds, I think, understanding.
Yeah, and I guess in the context of things, it's not important to distinguish landowners in this case, but
true.
All right, so next question. What would the App Store for the Metaverse look like?
Interesting.
Wait.
So considering I think we've built the first App Store of the Metaverse, let's see how close, spot on we are to what AI thinks we should be providing.
Yeah. All right, so let me zoom in here. The App Store for the Metaverse would likely be similar to existing app stores, such as the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. It would be a central platform where users could browse, search, and download a wide range of virtual experiences, including games, social platforms, and other types of interactive content. The App Store for the Metaverse would likely have a number of key features and functions, including a user-friendly interface that makes it easy for people to browse, search for virtual experiences and that interest them. This could include features such as filters and categories that allow users to narrow down their search results, as well as ratings and reviews from other users to help people make informed decisions about which experiences to download.
So basically, this is like the standard, any type of
marketplace,
consumer-facing, like interface experience.
Yeah,
so
it's like Amazon.
The only thing we're missing in our front is the
reviews.
The ratings and review system, which we've always known from the beginning would be like a core.
Yeah,
it's a big differentiator for us in particular, right? Because we're also embedded into the whole NFT ecosystem. So when you buy NFTs from OpenSea, there's no need to review existing NFTs because there's no I guess down the line
maintenance requirements. There's no expectations that the creator is going to do something else.
Exactly. It's not like there's some sort of like down the line consideration. It's like, oh, my NFT is like degrading in a quality somehow.
Yeah.
It's like, but my original artist won't, touch it up like he said he would.
Yeah,
so therefore 1 star. Like that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a meta or a metaverse application, like all the stuff that's on our storefront, all of these things require creator maintenance and updating and communication with their customer base, all that stuff. And we're providing all those tools.
Yeah.
except for the rating system.
Yeah.
Right. Reputation is going to be a big deal in the metaverse.
Yeah, and we're building it too, and it's
Yeah.
important because if it's just like in any other app that you download to your phone or your laptop, it's when the operating system gets an update, that app has a potential of breaking.
Yeah.
So the developers who made your app that you use all the time, they need to update it and continuously maintenance it, squish bugs, things like that. All right, number 2, robust selection of virtual experiences ranging from simple games and social apps to more complex and immersive virtual worlds. The App Store for the Metaverse would likely offer a wide range of content to cater to the diverse interests and preferences of users. A secure payment system, that's number 3, that allows users to easily purchase virtual experiences from the App Store. This could include the use of virtual currency as well as the traditional payments methods such as credit cards and mobile payments.
Nice.
Number 4, so this is something, traditional payments, something we should consider, I guess.
Absolutely. Yes.
As a matter of fact, Reddit, they didn't take any crypto for their NFTs. They took credit card payments only.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, which makes sense, because if you're trying to sell a product to a non-Web3 introduced demographic, and then remove all Web3
Connotations.
like nomenclature from their experience, or all any of the friction points of Web3. Yeah, you wouldn't expect them. It's like, all right, now send me your Bitcoin, please.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of all of that effort,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, number 4, a system for managing virtual assets such as virtual land and other property. The App Store for the Metaverse could include tools and features that allow users to manage and maintain their virtual assets, such as the ability to transfer ownership or make changes to their virtual spaces.
Okay.
Overall, the App Store for the Metaverse would be a central hub where users could discover, purchase, and manage a wide range of virtual experiences and assets. It would provide a key platform for growth and development of the Metaverse economy.
It's fucking beautiful, dude. This should become our new landing page.
It is.
Like, literally. It's so perfect. Even, like, we were just talking about, because we have plans, right, for some serious renovations to our platform.
Yeah.
If you guys have been with us for the last couple of years, not much has changed, like, from a UI UX perspective.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot has changed about what it is we're building and stuff. But anyways, so things are happening, right?
Yeah.
On the back end. But, like, once we were kind of, like, going over all these changes, like, dude, this is, like, becoming the Metaverse hub.
Yeah.
That's what MetaZone's becoming, right? Because it's not just a place for
a marketplace.
It's not. The market or the App Store. The App Store is kind of like a single component within the hub of the what it is we're creating, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's evolving, and I'm glad AI agrees with this evolution process, dude. It's pretty sweet.
All right, next question. This is number 5.
So this is a question we've talked about a lot in the past, like even with our own community during our calls and stuff. Like, we ask people, like, do you guys expect the metaverse to be interoperable or not?
Yeah.
And some people have told us, like, no, fuck no.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, let's see what the AI has to say. So, does the metaverse need to be an interoperable experience or not? All right. So, for those of you listening, definitely watch the YouTube channel because the way that it generates all this data is pretty satisfying.
Oh my God, dude, this is like the longest one ever.
Damn.
All right, dude. Buckle in, buckaroos. This is gonna be this is like a bedtime sesh, dude.
Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of reading.
All right. So, whether or not the metaverse needs to be an interoperable experience depends on the specific goals and objectives of the people and organizations involved in building and maintaining it. In general, interoperability refers to the ability of different systems, devices, and platforms to work together seamlessly and without the need for manual intervention. Mm-hmm. There are several potential advantages to creating an interoperable metaverse. For example, an interoperable metaverse would allow users to move freely between different virtual spaces and experiences without encountering barriers or obstacles. This could create a more seamless and immersive experience for users and could encourage more people to participate in the metaverse. Additionally, an interoperable metaverse would make it easier for developers and creators to build and distribute virtual experiences.
True.
As they would not need to worry about compatibility issues with different platforms or devices.
The fuck?
This could help to drive innovation and growth in the metaverse and could create new opportunities for economic activity.
Jeez, dude. This also needs to be on our landing page. Like, this is too good.
Yeah. On the other hand, there are also potential challenges and drawbacks for creating an interoperable metaverse. For example, achieving interoperability across a complex and diverse ecosystem like the metaverse would require significant coordination and collaboration among different stakeholders.
True.
This could be a difficult and time-consuming process, and it might require the development of new technologies and standards.
1,000%. We came to the same conclusion, didn't we?
Yes.
We're like, damn, dude, this is tough.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Something's missing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so shit.
It's like we need to develop a technology.
Yeah. Well, there's clear parallels, right? Okay, hold on. We'll talk about it after you finish. There's only one left.
One paragraph left. Ultimately, the decision about whether or not to make the metaverse interoperable will depend on the specific goals and priorities of people and organizations involved in building and maintaining it. Some may see the benefits of interoperability as outweighing the challenges, while others may prioritize other factors such as security, privacy, or control over the user experience.
Fucking A, dude. What the fuck? I don't know a human on Earth who would have delivered a better response, I guess. Well, at least that quickly. Like, imagine somebody churning that out in real time.
Yeah.
Like that kind of
impossible.
Yeah, or at least not that
concise.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of pauses like let me think about that. You know? But it's all there. It's not like this is anything new, obviously. We agree with all of this, I think.
I feel like there's a missing component here in terms of like knowledge of technology.
Okay.
And it may have not just picked it up or something, but achieving interoperability across a complex and diverse ecosystem like a metaverse would require significant coordination and collaboration among different stakeholders. So there's already technology that sort of does a lot of this already, but in different contexts. There are cross-platform development ecosystems, cross-platform development environments, where developers can come and use that cross-development platform to develop an application that can exist on iOS and Android or Mac OS and Windows.
Yeah.
So those exist. So you could conceive of a similar cross-platform development environment where developers come in and develop for multiple metaverses all at the same time. Right? Even if the metaverse is in Unreal Engine and Unity and so forth. So, I mean, it's possible. You don't need a ton of coordination, in other words.
Well, that's that's only factoring in that as the technical solution to this dilemma, right?
Well, I guess time-consuming, and it might require the development of new technology.
Yeah, what you're explaining is that
is
a new technology or
Correct.
a new standard for development for the metaverse as a whole, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the pipeline or the pathway we're kind of on, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, we came to the same conclusion by trying to build interoperable content because we've been building content applications for the metaverse since it started.
Yeah.
Basically, right? And as you grow, you start to, your ambitions, grow with you. And you're like, dude, let's make this stuff deployable everywhere else. Why not?
Yeah.
And then you start going to these places and you're like, hold on, there's like a whole different
environment here.
Parameter set.
Yeah.
Like you have to recreate everything specific for this world in order for it to function. I'm like, all right, well, let's go. So it's the same case in all these other siloed ecosystems, right? So
yeah.
Same thing happened for cryptocurrencies, early days, everything was siloed.
Still is for the most part.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's attempts to connect everything like Polkadot.
Or Cosmos and others, layer 0 protocols, right? So this seems to be like a natural way, like, I don't know, technology evolves over time.
It makes sense. You never start with a layer 0. You wouldn't.
I guess not.
Yeah.
You develop these new things and then you come into these problems, I guess, as ecosystems flourish.
Yeah.
They become competing ecosystems. And then at some point, everyone's just kind of like, dude, we kind of want to all be together, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
We don't want to be like so tribalistic and, especially for the developer's sake, it's much more advantageous if like, whatever it is they build, it's applicable, compatible to the whole, spectrum.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it makes
sense. What was the actual answer? Is it yes or no? They pretty much didn't tell us.
They didn't tell us.
It's like, it's good, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, exactly.
That was its answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, number 6. What would an interconnected metaverse look like? And what tools are needed to make it possible?
Okay, so this is your question.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. It's populating.
So basically, what we're we're kind of getting the inside scoop of M squared here, right? Because like their whole thesis is they're building a interconnected network of metaverses, right? So
Yeah.
this is basically we've just unveiled their internal roadmap with
Yeah.
this question. So let's see what they're building.
All right. An interconnected metaverse is a virtual world that is composed of multiple interconnected virtual spaces, allowing users to move freely between different virtual experiences and environments. This could include a wide range of virtual experiences such as games, social platforms, educational environments, and other types of interactive content. To create an interconnected metaverse, a number of different tools and technologies would be needed. This could include the following: virtual reality technology. It would be necessary to use VR technology such as VR headsets and controllers to enable users to interact with the virtual world in a natural and intuitive way. Networking and communication tools. To enable users to move freely between different virtual spaces, it would be necessary to develop networking and communication tools that allow different virtual experiences to connect and communicate with each other. This could include the use of open standards and protocols such as Web3 protocol to facilitate interoperability between different virtual environments.
All right.
Tools for creating and managing virtual assets. In order to create a rich and dynamic metaverse, it would be necessary to provide tools and platforms that allow users and developers to create and manage virtual assets, such as virtual lands, buildings, and other property. This could include tools for building and modifying virtual spaces, such as well as systems for managing ownership and access rights to these assets.
Okay, that's us again.
Yeah. Number 4, platforms for hosting and distributing virtual experiences.
That's also us, dude.
To make the metaverse accessible to a wide range of users, it would be necessary to develop platforms and tools that allow developers to host and distribute their virtual experiences to a large audience. This can include app stores, online marketplaces, and other distribution channels that make it easy for users to discover and access a wide range of virtual experiences.
Wow. It's happening, dude. It's all happening right before our eyes.
Yeah. Overall, an interconnected metaverse would be a complex and dynamic virtual world made possible by a wide range of technologies and tools. By enabling users to move freely between different virtual experiences and environments, it would create a more immersive and engaging experience for participants.
So I'm assuming, obviously, this is all good. Point number 1 is obviously debatable. Some people don't think VR. I think it's almost...
It gives you a different type of experience in the metaverse. Yeah,
it's definitely not necessary to achieve an interconnected metaverse ecosystem, right? But at some point, I think VR will become like the standard mechanism from physical to virtual at some point.
Yeah, I mean, there would need to be some significant improvements because you can sit there and play video games, 8 hours straight, but you couldn't do that with a VR headset. Today's VR headset, at
not
least.
8. Oh, you would have to take some
2 hours
breaks.
Would be like stretching it.
Yeah, it's true. Even for these kids,
Yeah.
2 to 3 hours at most. But yeah, it needs to get to the point where you literally almost can't even notice it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good luck with that, dude. So yeah, it's gonna take some time, but still, like when you ask this question, this isn't really what you're looking for, right? You're looking for more of like a technical solution to how do you make
what would an interconnected metaverse look like, and what tools are needed to make it possible?
Communication. Okay, so
I wasn't trying to lead it into anything. I was just curious as to what it thinks it would look like.
I thought at this point we were just kind of looking for more confirmation on your own thoughts.
No, definitely not. not in this particular question. No.
Okay, so you're satisfied. AI it's on point still.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, other than the virtual reality stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, I mean this is all spot on. But again, this is all stuff that exists. For we're providing these tools and these platforms for content distribution and hosting. It exists.
Yeah.
Go to Metazone.io, dude. There's just a lot of shameless plugging happening on this episode, but fuck it, dude.
Yeah.
If there's ever one to do it on, it's this one. But I mean, dude, we're fulfilling all these core tenets.
Yeah.
But we obviously know that's still not enough, right?
Yeah, correct.
What it is we're doing now, or what exists, is not going to enable an interconnected metaverse ecosystem to emerge, right? There's so much more.
Yeah, but I think if our focus is on the developers, I think it can focus on the interconnected metaverse. Because if you solve the developer's dilemma in like, I want to make stuff, but I definitely don't want to make stuff in each of these siloed metaverses.
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting somewhere.
Right? So I'm going to use a platform or a technology that allows me to develop and make stuff that can all easily go to these different metaverses.
Yes.
Because otherwise, I'm not going to spend my time on these silos.
That's not what it's saying, though.
No, it's not.
That's my point. That's I was thinking you were gonna try and like really get it to again like solidify this understanding of ours. It's
maybe let me ask it the same question, but let me give it a perspective of the developer. So, just out of curiosity.
All right, dude, we're doing real time
editing here.
Theory crafting, AI, like
what is needed?
Canoodling, that's the word.
What do developers need in order to make? Hold on, let's see. What do developers need to build for an interconnected? No, is that a good question?
What do developers need? Or maybe it's like what infrastructure remains in order to enable developers to build content that is interconnected to different virtual worlds. Does that make sense? Dude, there's no way it's going to answer that.
Let's see. What infrastructure do developers need to build for an interconnected metaverse? Is that right?
Remove the do. What do infrastructure do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what infrastructure do developers need? Yeah, dude. Good luck. Good luck, AI.
All right, here we go.
It's gonna be difficult to tell.
Okay, it has an answer.
Just comes out with a concise answer.
Yeah, it's like
this is what's needed, guys.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? It's still going. Okay, let's see what we got.
So, what infrastructure do developers need to build an interconnected metaverse? Developers would need to create a robust infrastructure that supports a wide range of virtual experiences and enables users to move seamlessly between different virtual worlds. A network of servers and data centers.
Oh, here we go. We're getting something interesting. Okay.
To support the large-scale operation of the metaverse, developers would need to create a network of servers and data centers that can handle the high volumes of data and traffic that will be generated by the metaverse. The infrastructure would need to be highly scalable, redundant, and secure to ensure the metaverse can operate smoothly and reliably.
So this is what this is what Meta is spending billions of dollars to provide.
Yeah.
Right? That layer of the infrastructure for sure.
So
oh no, it's in VR again.
VR again.
Which also Meta is providing.
All right, number 3. Tools and platforms for creating and managing virtual assets.
Oh, this is the same.
Yeah, in order to allow users to develop, create, manage.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's the same.
So they just added in server space, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. So this is interesting. So, I mean.
So a network of servers is needed. So that was the only thing that's different.
Yeah, well, we knew that. But, so it's going to be really difficult to get AI to basically, support our
because
stance
it's new. It doesn't exist, right? So
basically means we need to put out way more articles.
Yeah, pretty much.
So whenever they do make that update, that 2022,
it's like
update.
You have access to 2022 data.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. All right, well, that's all right. That's it's still a good answer nonetheless.
Yeah. All right, this is number 7. How can people use artificial intelligence to build out the metaverse?
Interesting.
All right.
AI-powered avatars. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see. So number 1, creating AI-powered avatars. AI can be used to create realistic and lifelike avatars that can represent users in the metaverse. These avatars could be capable of engaging in natural conversation and responding to user input, creating a more immersive and interactive experience for users.
Aight.
Develop AI-powered virtual assistants. AI could also be used to create virtual assistants that can help users navigate the metaverse and find the content and experiences that they're looking for.
Cool.
These assistants could use natural language processing and other AI technologies to understand user requests and provide helpful and accurate information. Number 3, generating AI-powered content. AI could be used to generate a wide range of virtual content such as virtual landscapes, buildings, and other objects that can be used to create more realistic and immersive virtual environments. This content could be created automatically using AI algorithms or could be generated based on user input and preferences.
Fascinating.
Number 4, creating AI-powered games and experiences. Finally, AI could be used to create new and exciting virtual experiences in the metaverse. For example, AI could be used to create intelligent game characters that can adapt and respond to user actions in real time, creating more dynamic and engaging gaming experience.
Interesting. Basically, better NPCs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
By leveraging AI technology, developers can create and creators can build out the metaverse in new and exciting ways and create new opportunities for economic growth.
Yeah, this is they all seem pretty credible.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know AI can be used for content generation, and we've been talking about that, like how to stay ahead of this AI wave and incorporate more tools for developers or creators to leverage when it comes to making metas or because the metaverse, I mean, it's going to be massive, right? So the need for content will be massive as well, the demand. So I think humans probably could keep up with that demand, but the whole idea is for AI to make things more efficient and more scalable, I guess.
Yeah.
Like as far as like, maintaining operation. So for sure it's going to help with that. What else, dude? I mean, what stage do you think AI just becomes like normal living citizens within the metaverse? I guess that's that last point, right?
Well, I think we're getting pretty close. I mean, talking to Siri or Alexa or Google or that.
Or even this stuff.
Yeah, even this stuff. Like we're
thinking about injecting these things into our rovies.
Yeah.
Which, like the ability to have dialogue with a metaverse companion.
Yeah.
Powered by AI. I think it's
natural. Feels like it fits.
I think so. Yeah. How else are we gonna ever escape that potential inevitability of forever loneliness?
But what's needed is some personality. Like you need to be able to inject some seed values that allow for different responses for same input. It's like, how are you doing today? It's like you're gonna get various responses from rovies.
It's true.
It's like I want my rovie to be passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little bit dominant.
Yeah.
So talk shit.
Yeah.
Step on you from time to time.
Yeah.
A little bit of torture.
You like that, huh?
Not me. I'm sure others would.
All kinks welcome.
There you go, dude.
Yeah. All right, next question. What would a play-to-earn game look like for the metaverse where people own all digital content?
Ooh, back to play-to-earn, dude.
All right. We are getting a response.
A very big one. Damn, dude. Yeah, he likes to chat.
Yeah, right. All right. A play-to-earn game for the metaverse where people own all digital content would be a game that allows players to earn rewards or income by participating in the game. This could be in the form of virtual currency where players could then exchange for real money or other assets, or it could be in the form of virtual goods or services that players can use or trade within the game. To create a play-to-earn game for the metaverse, developers would need to design a game that offers a compelling, engaging experience for players while also providing opportunities for players to earn rewards or income. This could involve implementing a wide range of features and mechanics, such as the following. A well-designed game world. The game world should be immersive and engaging with interesting environments, characters, and challenges. A robust economy. The game should have a well-designed economy that allows players to earn virtual currency and other rewards through their activities in the game. A variety of economic activities such as completing quests, trading with other players, or participating in in-game events or competitions. Opportunities for skill-based play. To ensure that the game is fair and balanced, it should offer opportunities for players to earn rewards based on their skills and abilities rather than just relying on luck or chance. For example, the game could include challenges that require players to use their knowledge, strategy, or problem-solving skills to succeed. Number 4, system for exchanging virtual rewards for real value. Finally, the game should have a system in place that allows players to exchange their virtual rewards for real value. This could involve allowing players to convert virtual currency to real money or to trade virtual goods or services for other assets within the game.
See, it's interesting. Like this AI is doing everything in its power to avoid like name dropping,
Yeah.
cryptocurrency, or
Yeah, because it says virtual
Currency,
currency
yeah.
versus real money.
I love that it makes that distinction. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
yeah, somehow it just knows, I guess, or that's what it thinks at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I think the majority of people think this way.
Could
right?
it mean like digital versus physical, virtual versus real?
Well, it's just real. It's just real money versus unproven money.
I don't know if it's that complex.
Well, at some point, virtual or maybe all money becomes virtual money. At some point, right? We see the trend
Yeah.
heading in that direction. Physical money isn't going to exist at some point in the future.
Well, I think it will always exist. Physical money.
like actually cash in
Yeah,
hand.
yeah. I think it will.
Okay. Well, nonetheless, I just like the way it has like its own distinguished etiquette when it comes to talking about these topics, because play to earn is obviously very specific to blockchain and Web3 and cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
and it's trying its best not to like obviously be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But these are good. These are good tenets to build a good sustainable play to earn game. I don't think any of this really factors in to like the metaverse component. I mean, it all does, but there's nothing added on to this that makes building a play to earn game in the metaverse
unique.
Which there are tons of uniqueness.
Yes, there
unique
is
elements to trying to achieve that, right?
Yeah.
It just don't know, dude. Even AI doesn't know.
It doesn't know.
They don't know.
Well, that's why humans are important, dude. And we're going to remain important even AI takeover. Like, we know stuff the AI doesn't.
But at what stage do they start to come up with their own stuff that they could source from?
I don't know, man.
There has to be a point where that happens.
There has to be developers need to design elements of like unique thought processes versus just like training data.
Yeah. What is that?
I don't know what that would be. But it has to be able to come up with new ideas, which it cannot.
Extrapolation,
yeah.
Yeah, like use all the data you gathered and create projections, and then use those projected data as points to come up with new thoughts.
We have mathematical projections for Bitcoin, for example, a nonlinear regression curve, the rainbow curve.
We have mathematical projections for everything.
Right.
Like the universe.
Yeah.
Right?
So it should be able to come up with like forward-thinking thoughts.
I totally agree. That's the AI I want.
Yeah.
I want the
Tell me the future.
Tell me what's up. Tell me what's really going on.
But you know
here,
what?
dude.
You would ask it like, what's the price of Bitcoin in like 2055, and it'll give you the rainbow chart. It's like that's
but
the
maybe
price.
not. Maybe it'd be like, you got to factor in the fact, there's a macroeconomic doomsday on the horizon.
Outside of that, like it's gonna give you a ballpark of 100K or so.
I guess it's like, well, it would have to be specific, like if none of these other doomsday factors happen and like the current trajectory remains, then at this point it should be this.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it could say by 2055, post-nuclear war, Bitcoin would be $300,000.
Yeah, dude. What is personality? Why do we all like say things differently?
Yeah. Well, we come from different seed values. Our DNA is different. Our environments are different. We have different parents.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah,
everything's
different.
Our whole experience is different. So
there aren't two. Even your brothers are completely different, right?
Yeah, there's genetic factoring into all these things. That the output from our brain is a different thing. Even though, like from an objective like value output, it could be like the same delivery.
Yeah,
like we could be saying the same thing as a value, but the way we deliver is totally different.
Yeah, even though our inputs are the same, we're right now currently in the same environment.
We're in the same fucking existence layer, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what the hell's going on in these brains, dude?
Yeah.
And then how do we want that to exist in the AI ecosystem? Like,
I think it would make things interesting.
I think it would make it more intimate, right? Like something more relatable.
Yeah.
This is like too clean. You know what I mean? There's no way.
It's like a calculator.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
A calculator that speaks to you.
All right. Next question. What needs to happen to have the majority of the human population become participants of the metaverse?
This is a big question. The majority of the human population. This is basically like we won.
Yeah, yeah.
The metaverse wins, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's going ham.
All right, let's see. Okay, so widespread adoption of VR, development of compelling and engaging virtual experiences. In order for the metaverse to become popular, it would be necessary for developers to create a wide range of virtual experiences that are engaging and entertaining for users.
Yeah.
This could include games, social platforms, educational environments, and other types of interactive content. Availability of affordable and user-friendly VR hardware and software.
Yeah.
To encourage widespread adoption of the metaverse, it would be necessary for VR hardware and software to be affordable and easy to use. This would enable more people to participate.
How much more affordable? Like, an Oculus is like $300-400, right? Isn't that cheaper than like most phones?
That's true.
Like, what the fuck? Does it have to be like we just got to pass them out for free?
Yeah, a cheap phone would be around $300.
Yeah, so why isn't everybody just, on VR already?
Content.
Yeah, that's what's missing.
Yeah.
So the hardware is already basically there. So, yeah. We need to maintain that price point and
create
reduce
more content.
Well, it's a luxury right now, dude. It's a luxury item.
Well, yeah.
Well, when it becomes an item that you need to participate in society, that'll be different.
Like basically every retail distributor on the planet has to have like a VR storefront type shit.
Yeah, think about this. Like as Americans, we have to go to jury duty.
Oh God!
Why can't we just show up virtually? Like,
dude,
put on the headset.
The government's gonna be the last entity to like jump on the VR train.
But think about this. Like if you can you could either come in for jury duty or show up virtually.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, people would opt in to show up virtually, right?
It's true. I think so.
I mean, that would be a good use case for VR headsets.
Yeah.
Because why couldn't you make the same decisions, right, as a jury?
As long as you can like prove that you're actually, the one like wearing or like the avatar that represents you. Yeah. It's still you have to have some sort of identity markers.
There's ways to prove
it. It's gonna be like, say your name into a microphone. It's like, my name is Isaac. It's like that's not your voice, so you're actually not here. Type shit, you know. Or
but there are ways to do that.
Of course,
that can be solved, right?
But it's the VR hardware price point's like in a good range, $300 to $400 or so. So, but it needs to become less clunky and, like you're saying, more of a user-friendly hardware type experience. And then what else? More compelling content.
Yeah.
That's it. So we're on our way, in other words.
All right, number 4, continued growth and development of metaverse ecosystems. Finally, the metaverse would need to continue to grow and evolve over time with new technology experiences and business models emerging to support the growing user base. This would help to create a vibrant, dynamic ecosystem that can support the participation of the majority of the human population.
Damn, son.
Overall, achieving widespread adoption of the metaverse would require a combination of technological advances, engaging content, and supportive ecosystem. By addressing these factors, it would be possible to create a metaverse that is accessible, engaging, and appealing to the majority of the human population.
Bravo. Well said.
And
fuck yeah, dude. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was excellent. So that makes me more hopeful because all those things are happening. It's fucking happening in ultra slow mode. But
you know what this kind of reminds me of? It's like, look, this is basically looking into the past and trying to project the future, which is, that's what we do, right?
Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I mean,
are we like analyzing the now or I guess the past and the now?
Well, yeah, because it's sourcing. This is trained data, right? So it
is from the past. You're right.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's good. I think that's useful.
Yeah, this is how you would do it, right?
Yeah, you kind of like I don't know. Yeah. Let's just put all our faith into AI from here on out. Just let them take over.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, this is pretty good, dude. I'm on board. I guess it's yet to be proven. All these statements, right there, they could be as wrong as anybody else or AI can. Meaning, like,
it seems unlikely that it's wrong because we've come to the same conclusions.
What the fuck? What if we're both wrong?
No.
Okay.
As of today, it's right.
Yeah.
It could be wrong in 2 years, right? But
could be.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to this video 2 years from now.
It's like, dude,
AI was right. We were right.
It's gonna be another one of those black and white videos, dude. Yeah. Just like we've made before in the past.
Yeah.
So I guess we had like a last question, but we couldn't think of how to actually word it, right? I was thinking of something existential or philosophical in a sense. Everything up until this point has been very like either technical or
like mechanical.
Yeah, like we're actually trying to uncover like strategy here.
Okay, well, why don't we ask it? Should
we even build the metaverse?
humans build the metaverse?
Yeah, tell us the future, dude. Like, what's the downside risks, right, to the metaverse actually existing in its mature form? It would be like asking AI if it existed in the early '90s. Like, well, what's the downside risk of the internet actually working out?
Yeah.
Which are like now we exist into that reality. What's the downside of the internet?
The propagation of wrong ideas.
That's huge. Propagation, yeah, the manipulation of people,
consciousness, yeah,
it's fucking massive. I guess the isolationism that is spreading because the less need for physical. So I think all that these same downsides are pretty much gonna just exist for the metaverse, but be a little more amplified,
more immersed,
even worse, basically.
All right, so should humans build the metaverse? So this is a pretty typical type of response.
It even says philosophical. That's hilarious.
But this is a typical structure of a response because I asked, is Kanye a racist?
You did?
Yeah, and it basically says, well, it's subjective, blah, 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 right? So it says whether or not humans should build the metaverse is a complex and philosophical question that ultimately depends on the perspective and values. Some people may argue that building the metaverse offers a number of potential benefits, such as providing a new platform for creativity and expression, enabling new forms of communication and collaboration, and creating new economic opportunities.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, others may argue that building the metaverse raises a number of concerns and ethical dilemmas, such as potential or for misuse or abuse of the technology, the impact on privacy and security, and the potential for negative effects on society and the environment. Ultimately, I mean, that's a very generic, very generic response.
The same statement, right? Technology is a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
you know, you just never know. Usually, the benefits always outweigh the negatives, but for whatever reason, society as a whole always likes to focus on the negative.
Yeah,
and like really like weaponize that and leverage that as some sort of attack. Like, dude, we fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But nonetheless, whether you are on any side of this fence, like it's coming. Regardless of your sentiment or your support of the idea.
Well, right? It's like we can replace this question. It was like, should humans build guns, right? And it's going to say, watch, it's going to say the exact same thing.
Well, we already have guns.
Build more guns.
More guns.
Oh.
What?
It is not within my capabilities as a language model trained by OpenAI to make recommendations on whether or not humans should build more guns. As a neutral and unbiased AI assistant, I am not able to provide advice or guidance on this topic.
Wait, what does that mean? Is it like too like political or something, or it's just too
how to solve gun violence?
Well, there's probably like an objective answer to this, yeah. You know, there it is.
What does that say? Strengthening gun control laws, investing in mental health services, providing support and resources for at-risk communities, implementing community-based interventions. I mean, these are very solid, but standard.
Yeah. Well, I guess what were you trying to showcase? Like anything philosophical?
Yeah, anything like controversy would be like, this is a subjective human thing.
It's like, it's up to you guys to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Don't bother me with that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically what the AI is saying.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck off, mate. All right, dude, we'll do exactly that, dude. We had enough of you, AI, OpenAI. But thank you for your valuable contributions.
Yes.
I mean, this is fucking great. AI is another perfect example of that. Everybody's on the fence, or not. There's an on the fence, dynamic.
Yeah.
Of AI is going to potentially
be useful or threatening.
Destroy all of humanity.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, here we are using it. It's enhancing our lives already.
So far, yeah.
So I mean, that's what I mean. Like, if it enhances humanity in any sense, like, there's no stopping it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Same with the metaverse. If there's anything that any people find identity or joy or something out of the metaverse, which they will, and which they already do,
and
it will continue to spread. Unfortunately, fortunately, there's no stopping it
Yeah,
once you get to that point.
I totally agree.
Yeah, so
It's just gonna be more useful.
Yep.
As the years go on.
so we're basically at like AI is like at consumer grade.
It's a
Stage.
novelty. It's a toy.
Yeah, but the metaverse isn't even there yet, right?
No,
Like
definitely not.
we have probably. So we're like at the stage where like people were first started hearing about AI 5-10 years ago. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck? Where is it?
Yeah. I mean, once we get to a point where we diagnose ourselves with like diseases on our computer just by asking AI, I was like, hey, I feel a fever. It's like, oh, you probably have the generic virus that's going around the planet. Like, you don't need to worry.
Yeah.
Or I have a lump somewhere. It's like, oh, you probably have cancer.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No, dude. Hopefully that AI is like also has a doctor app.
Yeah.
You just like lay on the bed and I'll take it right out of you.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking swell.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I guess if you have any questions, did you enjoy this?
You shouldn't.
This question.
I mean, AI answered them all.
Yeah, if you have any questions, ask AI. Don't ask us.
Exactly.
Yeah, and make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, and at Roby AI. And we will catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.